I'm joined by legal analyst Ari Goldkind. Ari, good morning to you. So, people are fascinated, riveted, I don't know, obsessed with this trial. There's so many words to describe it. And now we're seeing the end. The Amber Heard's team has wrapped up. They didn't call Johnny Depp back to the stand. How come? Too risky?
I think it's a risky move, Marcia. Johnny Depp has been, in my view, a much better and more compelling witness to this jury, who we can't see when we watch the endless YouTube clips that, if you know the YouTube algorithm, once you watch one, you're going to get about 50 pop up for the next week or two. He comes across to a jury, in my view, in a much more believable, much more honest way to a jury. For those who have been watching the trial, no matter whose side you're on, Amber Heard has a number of verbal tics that if I was her counsel, I certainly would have spent a lot of time with her sort of explaining what juries tend to like and not like. So calling Johnny Depp back to the stand, if you're Amber Heard's legal team, who I think are being out-lawyered by the Depp legal team, would have given essentially Johnny Depp the last word. I don't think that would have been a wise decision tactically or strategically, given the issues in this lawsuit, which really continue to be an extremely sordid and ugly mess.
It is ugly. You have to tell us what verbal tics you're talking about, Ari.
So for anybody watching this, and if you are watching this, this will probably hit home. If you're not, you got to go look at it because it's so obvious. Johnny Depp, when he was being examined and cross-examined, would look at his lawyer. He would look at the judge. He didn't have artificial tics where after every single sentence of his lawyer, he would turn to the right like this and look at the jury. Amber Heard, with every single question, doesn't look at the person asking her the question. She turns to the jury to the right, just like I'm doing, and you can tell that she is putting on a bit of a show, hoping that the jury thinks there's sincerity there. Now, jurors in the States, as we know, can talk about their experience. If Amber Heard is not successful here, you'll probably, I think, hear jurors say that every time she looked at us trying to score a point, not answering the obvious questions obviously, having a spin to everything, that is something that jurors tend to not like, because remember, the one thing that North America is not talking about with these two is that these are both professional actors. They're paid to pretend for a living. So the question becomes, how does a jury sort out which one of these pretenders? Because you can't get away from Depp's alcohol and cocaine use. He's a massive drug addict, which I think is what started all of this. But the way she looks at the jury after every question, I invite people to look at her testimony, is something that I think a jury will say to themselves, there's just something about this that feels very staged, unnatural, and perhaps dishonest. And that is something that if I was her counsel, would have said, just look and have a normal conversation with the person talking to you.
So closing arguments this week, as we discuss, this case has a lot of media attention. Do you think that this will impact the jury's decision?
I'm not sure it does, because as I said, you have two very famous people here. Obviously, he more famous given the length of his career, but the jury knows what they're dealing with. The jury has had instructions from the judge at every break. You don't see that often, which is don't consume media. The same instructions as in Canada. They've both used up close to their 61 hours each of allotted time. That's a lot of lawyer time, and the legal fees here must be astronomical. I'm not sure the jury's going to hear something in closing statements that stuns them. And remember, if the jury accepts that Johnny Depp did anything, even one time, laid a finger on her, his lawsuit must fail. The question is, from a PR or professional standpoint here, in terms of their reputation and getting careers back, that will be the interesting fallout of this case, not necessarily what the jury verdict is for $50 million for Depp or $100 million for Ms. Heard. But again, to me, it's almost hard to imagine anybody comes out of this mess as a winner.